Thanks for staying with us. So June, the month of June, is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We didn't even know that. And not too many people are aware. Countless times in our society, men suffer in silence and are told to man up or toughen up, keep their head down and suppress their emotions, that it's okay not to be okay and still be a man. According to reports, 1.6 million men have tried, 525,000 men have died. Those are numbers very, very, every single year that we lose to suicide. They've tried to, about over a million tried to commit suicide. Join us now on the show is Abiodun Oguntola, a mental health advocate and executive director, Mental Aware Nigeria Initiative. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me.
So, you know, it's not usually very popular to talk about men's mental health because we just assume that they're okay, they're men, you know, it's a patriarchal society, yeah, they got it, you know.
Absolutely.
But could you give us an idea the kind of circumstances men go through that could cause their affect their mental health?
All right, thank you so much. Mental health as it is an issue that a lot of us are actually scared about. I've gone on different campaigns that when you talk about mental health, the response you get is, I don't have mental health. I've forgotten the fact that everybody has mental health. The way we have physical health, we have mental health. Now, a lot of circumstances actually make men suffer more because of the society we grew up. There is this societal norms as, like Muraro mentioned, men must man up. When you express emotion, they see you as a weak vessel. When you express emotion, you are not expressing that masculinity again. And truth be told, economy itself is putting pressure on men, providing for the family, trying to scale. Look at the conversation we just had now, trying to scale the orders of the country, the orders of our economy, putting pressure on mental health generally, but more on men. And that is why the number you quoted earlier, more than 1 million individuals actually attempted to kill themselves. Because society does not allow me to show my emotion. I cannot tell my friend that this is what I'm experiencing, because once I mention it, I become a vessel of ridicule. Once I tell a friend that, okay, I feel this, my girlfriend abused me, this and that, they started saying different things. In one way or the other, I want to go to my shell. It's better I don't say anything. And the more I build on that, the more that keeps in me, I keep giving myself solutions in my head. Okay, do you think I should just kill myself rather than facing this shame? Okay, do I think I should resort to substance abuse? At least I can go to the bar and take a number of bottles. Okay, I can decide to, if I'm not drinking, what other substance can I take that can calm me? At least I will forget what I'm experiencing at the moment. So these are a lot of things that men go through. And truth be told, this is the reason why month of June is actually dedicated to men's mental health awareness. Let us tell our men that they need to speak up. You don't need to die in silence. I know a lot of things might warrant you want to keep to yourself and die in silence, but yeah, help is out there.
So sir, what would you say is the gender-specific sort of mental health men go through? So is it that they have more depression, more schizophrenia? Do they have a specific gender one that they go through? And why is it peculiar? What triggers it? Okay,
so there is no specific mental health illnesses peculiar to men. Men and women can experience different mental health issues at any time. Now, why some can be, in quotes, can be seen more in men is because men don't speak. Men don't speak. Now, there is a statistics shows that more women will attempt suicide, but more men will likely succeed. More women will attempt it. When it comes to success, more men succeed suicide. Why? Because in all ramifications, men has everything planned out. I want to enter marriage, I've planned it out. By second year in marriage, I'm giving birth to the first child. The third year in marriage, I'm buying this. Third year, everything has been specific, more strategic. So when they are planning killing themselves, they strategically plan everything. And trust me, high rate of success in men. So there is no mental health illness that is peculiar to men. Men and women experience mental health illnesses at different times.
So you mentioned men have to learn to speak up.
Absolutely.
So with women, you know, in families, you know, gatherings, we have places where we can go and speak.
Absolutely.
So my question is now for the other men who may not be in this situation. Do they provide, are there places that a man can go and have conversation and speak up without being shamed? And why is it so hard for men to come together to empower each other that way?
Okay, so let me start from the second one. Why is it so difficult for men to empower themselves? Because of what the society has placed on men. It is very, very difficult for us to come out and say, guys, let's talk about our mental health. Because once I'm the one leading that conversation, other men are seeing me that as a weak individual. So it has actually covered and protected me from coming out and say, let's talk about it. And there are different places men can sort help. For instance, my organization, in fact, we have made it so simple for men to speak out. You don't need to see the person you are talking to. You don't need to see your counselor. You don't need to see eyeball to eyeball. We have developed a particular app that all you need to is to chat on WhatsApp. As if you're just doing your normal conversation with your friend. You're chatting and you're getting the necessary help that you need. Some months ago, I ran a campaign that focused on men alone. Men can dial a number. Once they dial the number, somebody picks it up from the office and attends to their case pro bono. So there are a lot of places. I can start mentioning. There are a lot of organizations that are ready to help men.
There's a school of thought that says that the kind of men we're raising these days are somewhat like sissies. They don't have the manly temperaments that we grew up seeing our fathers, you know. We hear of stories like Daniel, David in the Bible, Abraham, Moses, all those men. They are men's men, you know, who are carrying the children of Israel.
Yeah.
You know, so, and you're thinking that's the picture you have of a man.
Absolutely.
And when you see your husband, your father, that's the picture you have. But today's men are also, mental health, you know, society, the economy. And people are thinking, when we talk about mental health issues with men, are we demasculating, what's the word I'm looking for? Emasculating them? Are we making them weaker? In the regard, it's not a school of thought. I wanted to just address because people feel that as much as it's great to address their mental health issues, but we also don't want a man not to be a man.
Absolutely.
We want them to be man as men are supposed to be because they're the one leading us. And if they now start crying on mental issues, then all of us are crying together.
Absolutely. All right, so let me start by saying that this school of thought you mentioned is what landed us where we are now. Men must toughen up. Men must be a man. That masculinity must actually show at all times. That is the reason why we are where we are. That is why we have high rate of individual attempting suicide every now and then. That is why we have high number of men. Maybe there's a different problem,
not that issue.
No, that's actually it. That's actually it. So we are not saying we want to, we don't want men to be masculine again. What we are saying is, yes, you have an issue. Talk about the issue. Just the way I have a cancer, and I can go to hospital and seek help, and I can be a man again, even despite the cancer. Same as you have mental health illness. Speak about it, seek help, get the necessary help. Then you are still a man. It doesn't make you less of who you are. It doesn't make you less of what you want to be. It only helps you to go through that situation you are at that very point in time.
So what role does drugs play in this? Because driving around Lagos alone is the men you see on the streets on the I know the clear game. You know, a lot of this abuse and substance abuse that you see. What role does it play in the high rate of men attempting suicide and men not able to cope with mental health issues? Okay, so
when it comes to substance abuse, like I mentioned earlier, men, because of the way we express emotion, we don't like to speak out. Most times, we always resort to substance to quench whatever we are going through at that particular time. You know that something happened to me, I'm ashamed of myself. So for me to face the crowd again, I need to do something that can make my eyes sharp. So men, most times, slide to substance so that they can feel masculine again. So that is more reason why we have substance abuse in our society. Because men don't like expressing emotion. The way they can express their own emotion is to get something to hate themselves so that people will not see the weakness.
But don't you think this starts from when you are a baby, when you are a small child? Because what happens is when the child cries, they...
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Somebody is petting.
But when the boy child, come on, stop crying, you are a man.
Absolutely.
How are you going to be a man if you... So men are never allowed to express their... Even from babyhood, they're not allowed to express their emotions. They're not allowed to cry. Then when you now allow your child to cry, they'll say, it's becoming
a woman.
Honestly, crying.
Honestly, that's a very, very true thing. Something happened to me some weeks ago. I went out with my child. He's a 3-year-old boy. And the boy started crying. And a friend said, stop crying, you're a man. I said, leave him, let him cry. Because this is exactly the way we grew up. Leave him. Don't cry. You are a man. Don't cry.
It would be counterproductive for a man who's told to cry when he wants to, and he grows up crying at every problem he faces, instead of, facing it, because there's a part that, a man plays in life.
Yes.
Manning up, defending.
Absolutely.
You providing.
Absolutely.
And if you are raising your boy to cry, he can't cry into adulthood. Is that not a problem in itself?
Okay, the crying is not crying at everything. Crying at a specific thing. You know that sometimes you just feel like crying because of some things you are going through. And when you finish crying, you feel good. And you face it. So the crying is not that you cry at all things that happens to you. Cry at a specific
that's why I'm
thing.
saying it now.
Because I think because
Exactly.
it makes sense, because even the girls that are allowed to cry, that does not mean that we are crying up and down.
Up and down.
We just understand that we can express our
Emotions,
But
yeah.
I would like to know, like, because men are so insular and they keep everything to themselves, are there things that I can notice, maybe in a partner or a friend,
Absolutely.
that can help me realize that they may be going through a problem and then provide my support?
Absolutely. A lot of things that you can notice. When you've seen a change in a pattern, probably I'm your friend, I go out at this particular period of time, you've known that by me. And suddenly I stop going out. I like hanging out with friends. I stop hanging out with friends. I love this particular kind of meal. I stopped taking it. I started withdrawing from the society, started withdrawing from friends and family. That tells you that something is wrong with me. So there are a lot of things we can easily identify. I stopped talking to friends. I stopped doing what I enjoyed. Men enjoy football. And suddenly I stopped watching football. You do everything manly possible to make me watch. I did not watch. Then somebody tells you that there is a problem somewhere.
Well, what is the kind of support I'll give? I saw one meme this morning. It says, sometimes our issues are just financial issues. Don't sit me down and be giving me 8 hours of advice. And with men, I feel that most of their triggers is financial.
Yeah.
And in this present economy, everywhere, everything is tough. And I don't have the money to give you. What other ways can I help someone who has a financial problem?
Present economy, everybody is mental.
Okay. So in such scenario, of course, you don't have funds to offer. Of course, you don't have any aid that person actually needs at that time. Word of encouragement goes a long way. As simple as, don't worry, it will be fine. We are in it together. I'm in this economy as you are. Let's keep doing what we are doing, and we are going to break through. As simple as the word of encouragement. It won't bring the money, yes. It won't bring the money, but it encourages. It relieves that person at that time. And when you discover that it's going beyond what you can handle, you can easily point them directly where the help is. Point them to where they can get the help.
Maybe because, I mean, if I'm thinking about the economy and you tell me, don't worry, everything will be fine. I would not even, that will not encourage me. That would just depress me more. Like, yeah? Tell me, how am I going to feed? How am I going to pay my salaries? How am I because sometimes that word of encouragement you're talking about does not really work. Because the reality is, I need to put food on the table.
Yeah. The word of encouragement does not really work because of what you are expecting at that time. That doesn't mean that the word of encouragement does not work. At that time, you need money. So the only thing in your head is, where is the money? So that doesn't mean that the word of encouragement does not work. In some instances, after that specific scenario, you can remember the word of encouragement and it helps you push further.
So I had an uncle who was discussing employment between a boy and a girl. And he kept saying the boy instead of the girl. I was like, the girl to go to school. He said, no, it will be somebody's responsibility. Somebody who must provide for her. If she's not married, her parents or family member will shield her. But this man, his mother will call him. His father, his sisters will call him. His father will call him. Yeah. His wife will call him. Yes. And so he would rather, provide provide a job for the boy as opposed to the girl. And we carry advocacy of a girl child. So these conversations, when we have them, sort of, for me, create that imbalance again. What exactly should we do when it comes to, economic empowerment for across gender? Because the conversation is endless.
Okay, so I believe it has to be on equal basis. It has to be on equal basis. We should not prioritize one gender above the other. That you're trying to provide every means of livelihood for the man or for the guy, and you are trying to sideline the female. It's not a conversation we should be having. Everybody should have an equal ground to express themselves and to be exposed to every livelihood.
But you see, there's an angle I'd like to come in here. Yeah. Because when men come to you, for example, to express their deepest hurts, and the women in their lives are the problem, where these women are the ones, they are trying really hard to help their family. But the women in their lives are making things difficult. What kind of advice would you give a man who really wants to help his family, but everything is just working against him?
Okay, so I will assume by saying that that person has identified the woman in his life as the trigger.
Yes.
So once you have identified a trigger, all you need to do is to start working around that trigger. There are marriage counselors. Walk up to marriage counselor, let them counsel. The counselor will not be one-sided, it will be two-sided. Two-way counseling. The man will be counseled, the woman will be counseled, and you will discover that at the end of the day, two of them will find an equal ground, and they will find a way to help themselves. The man will help the woman will help the man, and two of them will succeed together.
Then let's find your triggers.
Yeah. Okay, you know that with many of the issues we discussed about women, we always ask for allies in men. We need allies. Do you think that there are anything specifically you want to say to the female gender to be better allies for men in mental health issues?
Okay, I think what I would say to female gender is we need help. When you identify and you discover that this guy needs help, please, if you cannot provide the help, point us to where the help is available. Most times, you hear a lot of guys talked about what Murtala mentioned just now. The women in their life are the stressors.
How let's say you are forget wife. Let's say you are the mother in their life.
Yes, mother can be stressors. Okay. Mother can be. So if
in what way will she be stressing?
Oh, we just talked about finance not long ago.
For wife?
No, even for mothers and parents.
Yeah. They will not accept your wife. I will not accept your children.
They are not accepting the wife you brought to the house because they want you to marry a particular tribe or the other. They can be, permit me to use the word, pain in the house. They can be a stressor in your life.
Permit you to use that word.
Unpermitted.
They can be a pain. They can be the huge stressor in your life. And once you have identified, please, men like myself, the first thing we think about is to run away. That's always our first thing. But do you know that running away will not solve the problem? Every one of us can seek help. You can point your mother to where she can have a counselor talk to her better, and she have better understanding of what she's doing to you, what is the repercussion of what she's doing to you.
Which mother?
Wait, is it more in her tone? Sorry, is it more in her tone? Just please help us. Is it more in her tone? Is it the tone that she uses? What could be the issues for men that irritates them?
Okay, most times, the approach, men, we have this ego. Okay. We have this ego, and once that ego is punched with the tone of the tone, the kind of words, the way you carry your body, even when you are talking to the guy, it commands different information in the head of that guy. Like, why are you talking to me like this? I'm still a man now.
No.
We were here for them. I want to see how best to. So, sorry, we're constantly trying to, walk the line of not being too permissive with a child. That maybe we think is badly behaved, and then also not being rude. So what will be the best balance? I really want to know what will be the best balance for me. I'm dealing with someone. I feel that I need to speak in a certain tone. I need to, show that so that this man will finally, or this boy will finally get it. But, how is it that...
to identify that balance.
Yes, what's the balance? What would be the best way to approach that?
The best way to approach is to study that person you are trying to find a balance with very well and understand. You see, when you study people, you can easily know how to deal with that person. I have a lot of staffs in my organization, and trust me, I deal with each of them differently. Because I understood how I can deal with this person. If I deal with A the same way I'm dealing with E, there will be a problem. So I deal with them.
We have to wrap up very soon, but there's a final thing. I have to wrap up, I'm sorry, but there's a final thing I think is important for you, because a lot of women always seek knowledge, always look for information. You are here because you went to seek knowledge on mental health. A lot of men don't want to seek knowledge. They rather just stay because they believe they know it. There's nothing you want to teach me. Absolutely. So I'd like you to just talk to men out there that how they can actually get information on how to have a healthier mental
All right,
health.
So thank you so much. I would say to my gender out there that help is readily available. You cannot help yourself until you understand. If you don't understand, you won't be able to help yourself. Go on internet, search about mental health, search about what you think you are feeling. you are feeling so-called depressed, you are feeling unhappy, you are feeling moody, search about it, read about it, understand everything you need to understand about it. Then in that you're reading and studying, something will point you to where help is available.
Right.
Trust me, my organization is always available to help.
Thank you so much. I think that's all we can take on this segment. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.